Warm welcome to all. Thank you for being here today with us for this AI training webinar we have, which is part of our Gate to Fair Trade Fashion project. As you know, it's a multi-stakeholder initiative designed to strengthen visibility, competitiveness, and market access for fair trade producers. We are proud today to host this AI training webinar within our ongoing capacity building series. So very quickly, Gate to Fair Trade Fashion supports WFTO members and value-aligned fashion enterprise in navigating a rapidly evolving digital and regulatory landscape. From compliance and transparency to storytelling and buyer engagement, digital tools are becoming essential. Generative AI and accessible design platforms like Canva offer powerful opportunities to fair trade enterprises to enhance communication, streamline workflows, and increase global visibility. This session is designed to equip our changemakers in the fair trade fashion ecosystem with practical tools to leverage AI for ethical marketing, storytelling, and brand development. A very warm welcome to our trainer, Ronny Hermosa. I'm sure many of you already know Ronny from previous interactions. Very quickly, Ronny is a content entrepreneur and Canva expert who specializes in design and generative AI within the digital marketing space. After serving as Canva's head of communities, Ronny launched his own business as a content creator and grew his YouTube channel to over 550,000 subscribers. His courses on Udemy and Skillshare have reached more than 200,000 students worldwide. We are very happy to have you here, Ronny. Ronny is also the founder of Fair Trade Connection, a non-for-profit organization focused on capacity building for changemakers, making him uniquely aligned with the mission and the values of Gate to Fair Trade initiative. Ronny, the floor is yours. If I forgot anything, please add to this introduction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isabella. The intro was perfect, very complete. So yeah, you nailed it. Thank you. And also thank you very much for inviting me. It's always a pleasure for me to come back to a WFTO related event to add my little grain of salt. So if we are all good, I am going to start sharing my screen. I want this to be an interactive workshop, so if there is any questions popping up while I speak, while I demo anything, feel free to use the little emoji to raise your hand, and I will have that signal. I can either take the question while I'm speaking, if this is the right moment, or we can discuss your questions in the Q&A sessions at the end. So let me start by sharing my screen first. Okay, so I think this should be the one. Yep. I'm going to share my entire screen because I'm going to be jumping between screens. So you should all see this Canva screen. Are you also? Yes, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to go full screen. All right, so making AI work for your ethical business. Before we jump in, you might notice something on this slide, okay? This slide is kind of missing the photo here. And I did this on purpose, it's not a mistake. It's missing a photo because I wanted to figure out which is the best photo together with you guys right here. So I'm gonna go for the next slide and ask you to use the little chat that we have right here in the Zoom call, the webinar, to tell me which one of these 4 photos do you think best represents WFTO? I'm curious to see your opinion. I think this is a nice little icebreaker as well. So yeah, just use the chat and tell me number 1, 2, 3, or 4, which one of these 4 photos best represent WFTO in your opinion. 4, 3, 4. Okay, a combination. 1, 4, 1. Okay, I've got all of them. Michael, yes, Michael, you very diplomatic. 1, 4. Okay, so in order to actually get an answer to my question, I decided to also ask ChatGPT. Okay, so I took a screenshot of my 4 slides. Which one of these 4 cover slides is best for the first page of my presentation for the webinar? I'm trying to find the most appropriate photo. The audience is a bunch of fair trade companies, part of the WFTO network. And then I added the link to the WFTO website. And well, after reading all of your messages in the chat, it's a bit of a mix, but it seems that number 4 is the one that has been the most cited, or the number that came up the most. So let's see if it corresponds to what ChatGPT was thinking. So here is the short answer. So short answer, it had a longer conversation, but the short answer is for WFTO specifically, I would go with slide number 4. Why? Because your promise is making AI work for your ethical business. The visual should then feel relatable and not too flashy. So slide number 4 feels like someone actually running a small ethical enterprise, figuring things out. So my slide for this webinar, my intro slide, should be slide number 4. This is actually the same idea that I had. It kind of matches what you guys were saying in the chat, though I also agree that most of these would actually work. And if you look at my presentation right here, you see those pages. I had them hidden, but you can still see them here. But I agree that the first one, this one right here, or actually this one right here, should come all the way here to my first page. And I'm going to go ahead and delete my first slide. Can now delete all of these as well. And we now have, together with AI, figured out the best option. Okay. So why am I showing you this and opening up with this? Well, I want to show you at what level AI has kind of penetrated my everyday work. I use it for everything. I use it in my everyday workflow. And I use it to take all sorts of decisions, little decisions, important decisions, big decisions. Yeah, and this is really today's topic. I want to pass on some of the practices I've been testing, some of the workflows I've been experimenting with, so that you can start applying them in your fair trade businesses, in your ethical fashion businesses, because they are important. Okay, so that's really the topic of today: making AI work in your everyday workflow. Okay. Let me continue here. I have a 3-part agenda for today. Okay, so we'll start with AI as your digital assistant. And I already started showing you some of that with this little prompt exercise we just did. Then we'll see how AI can help you clarify your message as a fair trade business. And then in the last part of the workshop, show you how you can take or you can create smarter visual imagery and mostly photos. We'll focus on photos, but smarter visual production with AI. So I'll use a slightly different set of tools for that. Okay, so quickly, because Isabella did a fantastic job at already introducing me, my name is Ronny Hermosa. I work together with my wife and business partner, Diana Munoz. So together we are Team Rondi, but before Team Rondi, we were Fair Trade Connection. And some of you we have already met somewhere around the world. Either we came and visited your organization to shoot some documentaries. Maybe we met at a WFTO event somewhere in the world, a conference, or we've worked directly with you. So I'm really happy to be here again with WFTO and continuing sharing what we are passionate about with your members. So since then, we have started to work more and more with Canva. We both are Canva verified experts. This is kind of like the highest level of brand ambassador for Canva. We are Canva teachers, trainers. But today's workshop is not going to be so much about Canva. You see that the underlying tech for me is always Canva, always built on Canva. So every presentation document that I create is going to start with Canva. But yeah, so we are verified expert, which brings us close to the company and gives us access to them and the new features they keep on rolling out. And also, they are heavily leaning into AI. So that's Canva, but we created together with Diana. After me working at Canva for about 2 years, we stopped. I decided to stop to focus back on our business, and we became Team Rondy. So Team Rondy is an educational business, and we create content. So it's a content business, educational content business. We create content to educate people on different platforms. Our main platform is YouTube, where we have a Canva-focused channel. It's called Design with Canva, with over 1 million subscribers. Diana has a Canva channel in Spanish as well, with over 140,000 subscribers. And we teach also on other platforms, like course platforms. So we have free content on YouTube, the tutorials, and we have the paid online courses on platforms like Udemy and Skillshare. So that's in a nutshell who we are. I recently started a new YouTube channel to dedicate really to separate it from Canva and dedicate it to the AI experiments that I run, the AI tools that I like to try and see how these tools can really boost my productivity and accelerate my work. So if you are interested, it's called AI with Rondy. And if you wonder, Rondy is the contraction of Ronny and Diana. We put it together. So there you go, a channel dedicated to AI tools that I think you should check out. So I left the QR code here if you are interested. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about AI. But I would like to ask you first, like, what do you feel is your level of proficiency of being fluent in this new language in AI? Can you just show me in the chat, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like I just started yesterday, I just used ChatGPT for the first time, that would be 1, and 10 being I'm a pro, I should be teaching this webinar. Where do you stand there? Okay, 1, Luis. 5. Okay, so I'm just trying to get a feel of like what kind of room I'm talking to, so I can adapt also like my examples. Okay, so I see a mix. It goes from 1 to 7 so far. I've seen 7 or 8. Okay. All right. So I would say we gravitate around, I would say around 5 as an average. Okay. So I think I kind of found the right balance when I was preparing my slides. Okay. So the way we are going to do this, I'm going to try and hit as many nails on the head about what fair trade organizations actually do and actually need in terms of their workflow. Okay, so I've tried to list here a bunch of different tasks that an employee or a person working at a WFTO organization, like fair trade organization, actually does on a day-to-day. Obviously, you do much more than this, but this is kind of where I can bring my expertise. So everyday tasks like email, research, client proposals, sending proposals, product descriptions, negotiations, and also asking for feedback. Okay, someone is Okay, I'm gonna admit when I have like people trying to get in the room, just going to admit them. Sorry about that. In terms of content creation, design, we have, yes, content creation for social media, editing photos, generating mockups, creating consistent brand, writing reports, documents, marketing campaign. And then on the visual side, where we need to take product photography, lifestyle photography, visual storytelling, or all of these things. So what I put here on top of each of these columns are the tools that I am currently using to achieve these different things. Okay, and we are going to cover some of that in the workshop. See how they work, see how we can start using them, and see what kind of prompts we should be using to use them. Okay, let's start at the first pillar of my presentation. Remember, it's a three-part presentation. The first one is, how can we use AI as our digital assistant for everyday tasks, but also for feedback, coaching? I like to use AI, well, the main benefits for me of using AI. Sometimes people don't realize really what AI brings them or what AI can bring to an organization. For me, it's very clear. It makes me work smarter and faster. So smarter because I feel like I have this super intelligence at my fingertips. These models know everything. And so every time I have a doubt, I have a question, there is something I don't know, there is something not working on my computer, I rely on AI to give me the answers or find the answers or teach me. So that's why I also put feedback in coaching. I use these models to get a lot of feedback on my work and to kind of get some free coaching. So let's see some of the examples of me doing that. Using ChatGPT as my tech support. Okay, just gonna give you a few concrete examples of my stuff, and then we'll dive into practical stuff, practical examples for fair trade organizations. But first, like the first pillar, how do I use it in my everyday workflow? Well, recently I noticed this new little button in my ChatGPT app on my desktop. So you can either use it as your browser ChatGPT. That's where most people use it, in your browser. But there's an app also that you can download and start using it locally on your computer. And they added this little button right here. And I didn't know what it was. So I just took a screenshot. What you see here is the screenshot and prompted, what is this new feature? Record in the ChatGPT Mac desktop app. Okay. And I can click here to go to that conversation. I want to show you the actual conversation. Yes. I'm going to zoom in a bit. So that's my prompt. And it started giving me basically the answer. So when you hit that record button, you can start using the new voice capture mode. And it just gave me a bunch of information about what it is. And then I continued to prompt or to ask more questions, asking, for example, let me just put this full screen. Asking, for example, can it record a Google Meet or a Zoom call? Can it do that? And can you also tell me what other participants are saying in this call? And then I got my answer. No, I was trying to find the best solution for an AI note taker. I've noticed in several Google Meet or Zoom calls that I was part of, there was this little bot that was just recording everything that everyone was saying. And after that meeting, I received an email with all the notes, everything that has been said, action points. And I thought this is super convenient. Like I would love to have something like this for myself. So I was trying to find that product. So I continued asking, what is the best solution for AI note taking during meetings? Give me some ideas. And then continued. I need the best tool that allows me to record both Google Meets and Zoom calls. I organize and also those other setup, and so Zoom calls that I organize and also other calls that other people invite me to. etc., etc. So the idea here is to show you how you can start a conversation with a simple question. Right here was more like a tech support kind of question. What is this? Sometimes something is not working on my iPhone, and I ask, like, how do I get to this feature? How do I make this work? And then it kind of shifted to something more like in the realm of advice or product review or whatever, but it gave me my answer at the end, and I started installing this Fathom app. So Fathom right here, which is great. It's just an AI note taker. It's free. You just invite it to your Google Meet or your Zoom call, and it will start recording, taking notes, and send every participant a summary. So that's just one little example of how, let me come back here, of how making me work smarter. It would have taken me a long time to actually go there and analyze the market for an AI note taker and compare them with each other, try a few different ones. I didn't want to do all of that stuff, so just got my answer very quickly. Okay, something else is really good at. Well, when I say I'm referring to the LLMs, the large language models. So that is the likes of a ChatGPT, a Anthropic Claude, or a Google Gemini. So these are what we call LLMs, large language models, or chatbots, because they materialize in the form of a chatbot where you go, you ask a question. So these LLMs are very good at research as well, because they can work super fast and they have access to all the information that is online. They've been trained on that. So most of them have this functionality called deep research, which will allow you to ask the models to really go out and research a specific topic, and it will come back with, after maybe 10 minutes, or it depends on the models and it depends on how long and how hard you ask them to think. But it takes on average 10 minutes, and they can produce really in-depth reports that you can use about any specific topic. Okay, so I want to show you this one example, and then I'll move on to some more practical fair trade stuff. But this one is a prompt that I have used for my own work. So my work as an educator, Canva expert, influencer, okay? So I said, act as a research assistant. I need a comprehensive database of the questions people ask about Canva, focused on beginner and intermediate. And then research sources, the task, the output. So I told the model, okay, I need you to research what people are asking about Canva. I have been very specific about the task I wanted it to conduct. So build a topic taxonomy for Canva learning, extract the actual questions, phrasing people use, etc., etc. And the output, like how do I want this output delivered? I want a table of 200 to 500 unique questions with different columns in that table. Okay. So I launched this prompt, took about 10 minutes, and I got a massive report with questions that people had about Canva from all sorts of places. So I want to show you this report by going back to the conversation right here, which is this one right here. Yes, this is the report. So it's super long. I'm not going to go over this. This is the table I asked for. And it goes more on this side, is more columns. Obviously, you can open this. You can open this directly into and this is all the sources that it has used or identified to conduct that research. So I'm showing you this to show you, okay, the possibilities are almost infinite, right? About what they can do. Let me come back to this. Okay, so the deep research. And also, I think it's important to to understand how to ask the best questions. So this one right here. You might wonder, okay, Ronnie, this is nice, but the prompt that you use, so this part right here, is something I don't know how to create, because with these tools, the quality of the output will depend on the quality of your input. So if you ask a question that is not well structured, detailed, precise, if you ask something like you would ask a Google search, you won't get this kind of a result. So this is something I want to address right now, that in the beginning of this, like 2 years ago, it is true that you needed to know how to write a prompt like this. But today you don't. And this is my point. Like this is this slide right here. You don't need to be a prompt engineer meaning like the person who engineers the prompt, the questions you ask the model. All you need is to know how to ask the model to help you. Okay. So what you see here on this page is the actual prompt that I inputted in order to get to this. Okay. So let me explain. In ChatGPT, so let's just go to the ChatGPT conversation. All right, so coming back up, yes. So what I did to start this conversation is this prompt right here. And this prompt, I didn't type it. You see this little guy right here, the little microphone that says dictate? When you click on that, I'm not going to do it now because it's going to prompt something else, but when you click on that, then you can use your microphone to give some context, okay? And that's what I did. If you read this, you will realize this is mostly spoken language. I said, I'm trying to build something kind of like a dashboard where I could monitor what other creators who talk about Canva are publishing on different social media platforms. So the goal for this tracker is to keep track of what's going on. And so I started the conversation like this. And it gave me, okay, this is the structure you should have in your tracker. Okay. Um, and then I asked it for the prompt that I would use for a deep research. And I did the same thing. I didn't know how to structure this well-structured prompt of the task, the output, and everything. So I just tell it, help me with a prompt for a deep research, both on ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity. These are all different kinds of LLMs. I want to do a deep research to find out what people are asking about Canva and and the how-to tutorials. I'm trying to create an exhaustive list of everything that a beginner or intermediate Canva user can ask to learn on the internet. Okay. Not going to waste your time and read everything, but this part of the workshop is important. Like you don't need to be a prompt engineer anymore. You just need to know how to use a microphone and explain with your own words what you are trying to do, what you are trying to build, what kind of outcome you are trying to achieve. Okay. And you can do so in a messy, all over the place kind of way, which is, I mean, it was relatively well structured, but sometimes some of my audio prompts are so all over the place that it's okay. It's okay because the models are so intelligent that they will understand. And so I launched this prompt and I got the prompt that I read to you previously. So this prompt, previous page, this one, the very well structured prompt that was optimized for my deep research. Okay. So I went from this messy audio brain dump to a well structured prompt because I was able to use the model to create the prompt for me. Okay, once I had this, I could use that little copy button, which is what I did. I used that. And I came to Gemini, so the other model, another model. So Gemini is from Google. There you go. So I came here and I inputted that prompt somewhere here and it gave me the whole thing. So once you copied, you can simply paste didn't paste here, but yep, like so. There. You paste your prompt and you're good to go. Just make sure you use the deep research tool. So under the tools right here, deep research, make sure it's selected. If that's what you want, if what you want is a more like in-depth kind of, yes, research with an outcome that will be a report, a large spreadsheet or something like this. Okay, enough time spent on this. This is an important one. Like you don't need to be the master prompter like anymore. Just ask the models to write your prompts. All right. Is there any question here before I move to the second part of this presentation? I'm looking at the chat. Yes, no need to buy any prompt library. Yes, absolutely. Selling prompts is something of the past. Like this is not happening anymore. So that's, yeah, good points, Isabella. Is there any questions or should I just continue?
I see one question in chat
Yeah.
which says, how do we know which AI tool to use, like ChatGPT, Gemini, etc.?
Yeah, I see the question from Annalos. Well, it's really a question of preference. I think all of these, so the one you mentioned, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, I mean, they are all very good. So there's no fundamental difference for people like us. I mean, we're not rocket scientists, or we're not like data engineers, or we don't need to use the models to their very last frontier. If we are using it for everyday business use, you won't notice much of a difference between the level of intelligence of these models. Now, the difference is one, the user experience, so how the interface looks like, and the features that they have. OpenAI, so the creators of ChatGPT, have been very good at making like ChatGPT sticky by giving it a memory. So because it has this memory feature, it knows you, right? And because it knows you, it feels comfortable to just keep coming to the same tool because you don't have to explain all of your life story, so to speak, to the model. It already knows you, it knows what you do, it knows what projects you've been working on because of that memory. So that's kind of what keeps you locked in a tool once you start using it. So if you are at the very beginning of your journey, I would say, I don't know, like build, for example, Gemini is more integrated with the other tools you might be using, like Gmail or Google Sheets or Google Docs. If you buy one of the cheapest plan for Google AI, you will have access to the power of the LLM or Gemini in those different platforms, like your Sheets, your Gmail, everything. It will be integrated. So it's better integrated because it's Google. On the other hand, ChatGPT is kind of like the preferred consumer AI platform because it has this memory and it's easy to use, and it was one of the first one or the first one to kind of break through. Businesses prefer Anthropic and Claude because of the trust and the kind of ethical consideration this company is kind of focusing on. So it's the preferred business solution. So yeah, me personally, I use ChatGPT because I'm locked in because of that memory, because of all the context. But yeah, I've been finding myself also experimenting with Gemini. So yeah, that's to answer the question. Are there specific AI for different subjects, art, design, looking for markets, and for products? Well, you have specific AIs, yes, but you have it within the LLMs, the large language models. I would call these the mega models, like the big models. These models are universal, meaning they know about everything. Now, what you're asking, Luis, yes, there are specific AIs that are more targeted for example, performing certain tasks, like generating images, generating photos. There will be specific models. The big models can do it. If you ask ChatGPT to generate an image of a Nepali artisan, it will do it. But there are other models that are more niche and that only do that. So these will tend to be better than other models. Also, some of the niche models, like for example, you might have heard of Nano Banana, which is Google's latest AI image generation model. It's called Nano Banana. Don't ask me why. But so this model, which is the best-in-class AI generation tool right now, is a Google product. So Gemini will integrate it inside its LLM, its platform. So yeah, I would say 2 or 3 big companies, maybe 5 or 6 big companies in that AI race: Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic. What else? Yeah, mostly these companies, and so their models will be the most prevalent. There's also XAI, the Elon Musk company with Grok, but not a big fan of this one model. But yeah, so any model would do at this stage. Okay, good. If you have questions, by all means, I'm super happy to address them. I think a good time would be when I switch from one part to the next. But yeah, now let's make it super practical for you guys. That was kind of the introduction, right? We need an introduction. We need to understand the good practices, the use cases. But now I want to make this super useful. The promise of this webinar is that tomorrow you can start doing what we will be doing together right now. You can start doing it for your company. So let's talk about clarifying your message with AI. I remember giving a talk before AI was a thing at WFTO, and these 3 points have kind of been my battle when I was working with Fair Trade Connection. The things I was fighting for, like we need to collectively as a network improve the quality of our websites. We need to improve our brand identity, our brand imagery, and we need to tell better stories about the products, about the artisans, about the impact we are making. So these 3 points, better website, better brand identity, and better storytelling, have been the 3 things I've been always trying to make an impact, make a little dent into. So yeah, same thing today. The difference is that now we have more powerful tools to help us do this. So let's start with websites. Okay, websites. I have been given a few examples when I was preparing for this webinar. One of them was Mahaguti. And so I decided, okay, let's see how we can maybe have a look at Mahaguti's website, use AI, and see how we can maybe make some improvement, get a nice feedback, and understand how we can work with AI to improve our website. Let me get into full screen here. Okay. So the first task was, how do I figure out the prompt? Okay, just like I told you, I'm not a prompt engineer. So I started with my microphone and my audio prompt. And I asked ChatGPT, this is ChatGPT. You have the conversation right here. If you scan this, you should be able to access that same conversation and continue it for yourself. Maybe scan it if you want the link. I will share this whole set of slides at the end. There will be a link. So you will have that. You don't need to do this right now. I prefer you focus and you stay with me, but you will have access to this prompt. So took my microphone, and this time I'm going to read the whole thing because I'm going to take you with me on that journey of using ChatGPT to review Mahaguti's website and give me some suggestion on how to improve it. Okay. So when you analyze a company's website, specifically a fashion retailer's website, how would you evaluate the website? Okay, that's the beginning of what I said in my prompt. And then I give it some context. I say, I said, I mean, what are the different criteria that are important? Because I'm doing some website reviews and feedback for ethical fashion producers, fair trade producers, and most of their websites are not super good. So I would like you to help. I would like to help them by giving them some constructive feedback on how they could improve their website. Most of the time, these companies are looking for finding international clients who would be distributors, importers of their products. Sometimes they also sell direct to consumers. So they want to present their collections under their best light. So product photography is important, but also stories like impact stories of how their products actually empower local communities, etc. So stories, product photography, they need to show professionalism so that international clients are willing to work with them. So all of this is kind of reflected by their website. So you see how this is spoken language. You can see that when you read this prompt because yeah, it transcribes everything I say in my microphone. So your task, I need you to give me a list of criteria for my website analysis. What should I focus on? What should I pay attention to? And what kind of feedback would be helpful for these organizations? Okay, so that's how I started this entire project. Okay, and it's right here on this ChatGPT conversation. So I'm going to go back to it. There. All right. So the answer. All right. If I land on a fashions brand website and they tell me we want international distributors to take us seriously, I'm not looking at colors first. I'm asking one brutal question. Would I trust this company with a 50,000 euro order? That's the bar. Here's how I would break down a proper website review for ethical and fair trade fashion producers. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there is a few different points here. One, first impression and positioning, what it calls the 5-second test. So, do I immediately understand what they sell? Who is this for? Retailers, wholesalers, consumers? Where do they operate? What makes them different? Then it gives me a common problem. So the homepage, some like in most cases, the home pages talk about empowerment for 3 paragraphs, but never clearly shows the product. So if that's the case, feedback you can give, etc. Professionalism and trust signals. This matters a lot for international buyers. Look for clear company information, location, year it was founded, team, etc. Certifications, WFTO, Fair Trade, GOTS, etc. Red flags, no physical address, no company registration info, generic stock photos everywhere, broken English. So that's kind of like some of the red flags I should be paying attention to. Product presentation. This is huge for fashion. Photography. Are these images high resolution? Consistent background? Consistent lighting? Are they styled in a way that matches the brand? Multiple angles for the photos, close-up of fabrics or texture, etc., etc. For B2B clarity, very often missing. If they want distributors, the website must support that. So check if there is a dedicated wholesale page, if it's easy to request a catalog, if there is a downloadable line sheet, if there is a clear call to action like request our wholesale catalog or become a retail partner. Okay. Point 5, storytelling and impact. Now we talk about the heart. Okay. Ethical brands have powerful stories, but often they're told in a messy way. So I should evaluate, is the story structured? Do we understand the problem that the company is solving? Are there any real numbers, job created, percentage of women employed, wages above local average, etc.? Are there real faces and names? Okay. It gives me an example. What's a weak version? We empower community. What's a stronger version? We work with 64 women artisans in Oaxaca. Their income is 2.3 times the regional average. It's much better than we empower communities. Feedback, etc. Point six, navigation and structure. Is the menu clear? Are there too many items? Is it logically grouped? Easy to find products, mobile friendly, responsive. So common issues, overloaded menu with vision, mission, heritage, value, craft, philosophy. It should be more simple than that. Simplify to shops, wholesale, about, impact, contact, reduce clutter. Okay, continuing. Point number 7, conversions and call to action. What do they want visitors to do? Buy, request a catalog, book a meeting, sign up for a newsletter. Language and copy quality. This is sensitive but important. Is the English natural? Is it too emotional? Is it too vague, too activist? For B2B especially, buyers need clarity. So replace abstract phrases with concrete details, shorter sentences, clear benefits for retailers. And then technical basics, quick checklist, brand coherence, etc. So I've got 10 points, and this is already a solid base, okay? But it doesn't give me an analysis of Mahaguti's website. So far, I haven't showed Mahaguti's website. All I've done here is ask for some criteria for me to evaluate the website. So if my goal is to use AI to evaluate Mahaguti's website and then make some improvement, that's the whole task. I need to break down this task into smaller tasks. And the first smaller step is to ask for some solid criteria for evaluating this website. That's a common, and that's something I would encourage you to do if you have a project that is relatively complex, like improving your website. Break the task into smaller steps. Because if you ask the AI just like, how can I make my website better? And you paste the URL, you will get some of this, but you will not get this level of precision. Here we have 10 very detailed points, and each point could be an entire webinar. You've got something solid. So break the task into smaller chunks and move progressively. So now that I have all of that, okay, what I did is simple. Let me come back to my presentation. So I figured out the prompt, right? That's what I just did. My next slide here is, yes, so this, yeah, this one was a good one. Like, would I trust this company with a 50K order? That's really the core of what we're trying to solve here. Like, the website should answer yes to this question. If your website can do that, then it means it's actually working. If your goal is to sell internationally, find some new customers, which I know a lot of you and a lot of your companies are actually working toward that goal. Okay, so I had my prompt, or I had my context, my criteria. Now it was time to leverage it. And I did this by switching tools. I'm not sure why I went to Gemini, not continued in ChatGPT, but it's just also to show you that the tools are not really the differentiator anymore. So let's get into that conversation. I hope I can open it here. Yes, so let me find it, continue this chat. Well, actually, I'm going to go straight to Gemini and open it over there if you bear with me for a sec. Yes, because I want to take this exact. Yes, okay. This is where I took it. So I came to Gemini, and I started very basically. I asked it because I wasn't sure how to do this. Like, how would it see my website? So I ask, if I give you some URLs of websites, are you able to access them and actually evaluate the content of these websites? I'm talking about visuals. I'm talking about structure of the website copy and of the website overall structure. So basically, I'm looking for feedback about website design, copy, and efficiency only by providing you a URL. Right now, I'm just looking for a yes or no answer. Can you do this? So it's a very straightforward question. If I give you a URL, can you analyze my website? It said yes. I can access the text, the structure, and the code of the website to evaluate the copy, the SEO, search engine optimization, and information architecture. While I cannot see the website in the way a human does, as rendered image. So I can analyze the underlying CSS and layout and the data to provide detailed feedback on design principles and user experience. So basically it told me, yes, I can analyze your website, but I cannot see your website. I say, okay, understood. Now, if I give you a screenshot or screenshots of the landing page, could you see it? Or if I export it as a PDF, could you then see it? And then upload that to the chat. Can you give me some proper design feedback about visuals and visual consistency and the visual look of the website? So I'm trying to find a workaround like, okay, you cannot see it, but what if I give you screenshots or I exported my website as a PDF and just give you that? Can you then do what I'm asking? I said, absolutely. In fact, if you provide screenshots or a PDF, that's the best way for me to give you high quality design feedback. Okay, give me more blah, blah, blah here. But I didn't know how to export my website as a PDF. So I asked, do you know a good tip to export a website to a PDF scroll? Because I'm not sure how to do that. And it gave me, so this is me going back to the tech support kind of way of using the AI. I need a tool. So it gave me a few options like the no install browser trick, the browser extension thing. So it told me there's a browser extension for Chrome. It's called Go Full Page. It's highly rated. It's very simple. You click a camera icon, it scrolls for you, and you can download the result as a PDF or a PNG. So I thought, yeah, let's give that a try. So what I did, I just came to the Chrome extension page. So let me show you. It's something like this, manage extensions. Yes. And here in the Chrome Web Store, you can download new extensions. So I went ahead, find the Go Full page that it was mentioning. I installed it, took 1 second, and now it's installed on my browser. You can see the little icon right here. So what I did, I came to Mahaguti's website right here, and I use my little extension right here. So I clicked it, and you see what's going on. Go full page. It's scrolling the page. I'm not touching anything. It's just scrolling the page. You see the little Pac-Man thingy going on. And once it scrolled all the way down, it gave me this, which is a full scan of my website like page, the entire page from the top, the navigation to the footer. And here I can save that as a PDF, okay? Download as a PDF. Now it's downloaded, it's right here. Okay, so I have my screenshot. So I took that and I took the long prompt. Let me continue to prompt, yes. So the long prompt, yes, not this one here. Remember the long conversation I had with the website review? So all of these 10 criteria, I copied all of that stuff from ChatGPT. And I came to my prompt here. I uploaded the Mahaguti homepage PDF I just created with my tool. So it's here. So now you can see it. And I pasted all of that context. This is a super long prompt, but I didn't write it. I just asked ChatGPT to create it, right? And then I run that. And this is where it becomes very interesting, because I was kind of mind blown by this analysis. So it gave me, okay, here is the comprehensive framework for your B2B, B2C audit, applying your brutal question. Would I trust this company with a 50K order to the Mahagoti homepage and PDF? The answer currently is no, not yet. So again, and I'm doing this respectfully. I don't want to offend anyone here. I'm just doing the reviews as like in a way that we can all learn from this, and of course we can all improve from this. So let's get into the reviews. While the craft and mission are clearly authentic, and maybe we should have a look at the homepage for just a few seconds. Okay, so we have a slider right here. Artisans made ceramics for home decor. We have different sliders. Then we have a message from Sunil, the CEO of Mahagoti. Then we have some top sellers, some nice and cool animation, some links to direct product categories, I imagine. You can shop by categories. Okay, so we have the categories. You can navigate. Why Mahagoti? So these are kind of like the selling points. Featured offers, pashmina, ceramics, home decor, okay, new arrivals. Again, it's a carousel. Blog posts. They're still loading, but some quotes, more products, then statements about Mahagoti in the footer. Okay, so that's what we are evaluating right here. Okay, so I'm going to read through some of this, and then I'm going to ask you, is there someone who wants their website analyzed? And I'm happy to plug their website into that prompt and into that analysis that we have created. Okay, but all of you will be able tomorrow to do the same thing if you want, because you'll have access to the prompts, you'll have access to the conversations, and you will understand how to run something like this. Okay, so the first impression, the 5-second test. The hero slider mentions handmade toys and figurines. However, the navigation and categories suggest a massive range of product: home furnishing, clothing, wearables, dining. So the problem, it lacks a sharp headline. Is Mahagoti a toy shop? Is it a furniture shop? Is it a textile provider? By trying to show everything, they position themselves as a general gift shop rather than a specialized producer for ethical retailers. Also, it picked up a visual conflict. The hero image shows pottery, but the text talks about toys. This creates immediate cognitive friction. So I noticed that as well. You see, let me just, this one. Artisan made ceramics for home decor, and we see some toys. And then when we go to the next one, handmade toys and figurines, but we see the ceramics. So they kind of mixed up the images together with the tagline in that slider, and the AI picked that up, the visual conflict. All right, moving down here. Thank you for sharing the website here, Analos. Professionalism and trust signals. Credibility gaps. The CEO statement is a wall of text that is difficult to read. International buyers want data, not a manifesto in the hero section. So I tend to agree with this. Like, this is nice for explaining maybe the vision and who is kind of navigating the ship. But for an international buyer, this doesn't bring much. Now, maybe that's not the goal of this website, to talk to an international buyer. I'm not sure. Here. So, missing B2B signals. There is no wholesale or distributor link in the primary header. The 50K buyer doesn't, a 50K buyer doesn't want to use a contact us form to get in touch with the company. They want to see a wholesale portal or download catalog button. Certifications. While Mahagoti is a known WFTO member, the logos are not prominent above the fold. They need to be front and center to establish instant trust. Okay, moving on to product presentations. Photography. The product shots, the notebooks in that carousel, are inconsistent. Some have harsh shadows, and the croppings, the actual framing, the cropping of the photo varies. Styling, the featured offers images are much stronger than the individual product listings. However, the mix of high-end lifestyle photography and basic product on wide shots makes the brand feel disorganized. Technical specs. On the homepage, there is zero information on material or sizing. A buyer needs to know if it's 100% Loctite paper or handmade, hand-loomed cotton immediately. So it gave me, I would say, a very thorough analysis of the website, storytelling and impact, vague versus concrete. The copy uses phrases like preserving Nepal's rich cultural heritage. Improvement, they should replace the CEO long paragraph with a Mahagoti by the numbers section. X artisan supported, X percentage of women led, WFTO certified since year Y. I agree with that. Quick wins. Fix the typography. So this one, it picked up a question mark somewhere. I'm not going to talk too much about this. B2B call to action had a wholesale international trade button in the top right corner of the header. So a wholesale section or international buyer. Hero alignment, ensure the text handmade toys matches the images of toys, not the ceramics. So a few things to fix here. Gonna leave it here for this example because me, honestly, I was quite blown away. It picked up the misalignment of the slider with the text and the image, which for me that was showing me that it's a deep analysis that went on here. Okay, I have Samir from Mahagoti. Nice. As our website is under construction, this is just a demo copy, but this analysis will be very helpful. Well, I'm glad it is helpful. And again, I picked up this example of Mahagoti because I was given 5 companies to analyze for making this website, making this workshop, sorry. And I do think the website has a lot of potential. My goal here is to show you we all have now at our disposal an expert in the form of that AI, in the form of those LLMs, and they can really help us improve our businesses, improve our communication, refine our message. and that's what we've done here. All you need is the right prompt or the right methodology, right? Because the prompt, I didn't even have the prompt. I asked ChatGPT to create the prompt based on a task I came to it with. I came to ChatGPT saying, hey, Mr. Chat, I have this project. I want to evaluate website. Help me create a list of criteria. Then I took that list, figure out how to show the website with my little app. I didn't know about this app. Now I'm using it. And so that's really the fundamentals I want you to pick up, that reflex. Okay, there's a super intelligence right there. It costs $20 a month. It's massively underpriced. So use it. That's kind of my point here. Let's get back to the slide. So again, so you will have access to all of this. Don't worry. And yes, so who's next? So this is where we get super demo, and we actually take one of you guys' website and plug it to that prompt. So I have one website here from Anna Lowe's. Okay, Robert, absolutely. It's a learning process and we are all in the same boat. Yes, absolutely. And I'm doing this with the best intentions, really, to help everyone use the tools. I'm just about the tools today. Okay, so should we go ahead with the Chaco Zanzibar website? I'm going to copy that link. and actually come back to my conversation and we can try here. So first I will need to go to the website. There you go. So this is the website we want to analyze. Chaco Zanzibar. Okay. So I see some nice product photography. Some description, collections, and the footer. Okay, so let's do the same thing. We are going to capture it with Go Full Page. There we go. I have it here. I'm going to save that as a PDF. Okay, come back. And because I already have, let me see. I think, yes, this one right here. All right, so I did it myself with KTS's website right here. I'm going to skip that, and I want to do it with Chaco's website. Okay, so I'm going to add my PDF, this one right here, here, and simply say, okay, now let's use the same framework and analyze this next website. And I'm going to give it the URL. Run this prompt. I'm using the thinking mode. Okay, there are different modes in most of the LLMs. Thinking will think a little bit longer to give a more detailed analysis, but it shouldn't be too long because here it's a very, like it's a simple landing page. Okay, so let's have a look. Applying your brutal question, would I trust this company with a 50K order to the Charco's website? The answer is yes. The most of the three, yes, the most of the three so far. Okay, so the most of the three example I gave it. So I gave it the Mahaguti website, I gave it the KTS website, Kumbeshwar in Nepal, and now this website. While the previous two sites felt like a local NGO and a gift shop, Charco feels like a modern international lifestyle brand. The visual language is much more aligned with Western retail expectations, minimalist, high-end quality lifestyle photography, and a clear circular economy niche. However, they still have the B2B bridge gap that creates friction for large-scale distributor. First impression and positioning. The 5-second test. I immediately know what they sell, upcycled glass and crafts. They are from Zanzibar, and what makes them different? Circular economy upcycling. Visual hook. The hero image is a high quality live shot. It sells a vibe, not just a product, which is essential for fashion and a home decor brand. Audience ambiguity. The shop and collection button suggests they are trying to serve both consumers and retailers. But the primary language is B2C focused. Okay, so we have that little ambiguity, B2C, B2B. Professionalism and trust signal certification. The WFTO guaranteed fair trade logo is visible in the footer, which is the gold standard for the sector partnership. Chaco is proudly supported by, okay, so that section with the logo builds instant social proof. If a distributor sees a partner, they recognize they are 50% closer to trusting that 50,000 euro order. Yeah, if you can see other peers in the industry are already working with this distributor, this is always good. So that signal, let me go and find it. Where is it on the website? Not sure where it found this one. Maybe in one of the slides here. Yeah, maybe it's actually telling me where it found it. And yeah. Certification, the partnership, yes, it's a line. In the social proof, okay. Product presentation photography, this is their strongest asset. Yes, I agree with this. The photos are consistent, they have professional lighting, they use lifestyle styling that makes upcycled glass look like a luxury or a boutique item. So you see I'm not going to read the whole thing because time is moving. We have 15 more minutes. I still want to have a Q&A section. And I still want to talk about product photography. But yeah, you got the point. And I invite you to try this at home. Try this for yourself with your own website because you can learn some valuable lessons here with this kind of analysis. How are we doing with time? Like, how is everybody doing? Do we need a little break or are we good? Isabella or Robert?
Oh, I am stunned. I'm gonna do that tomorrow morning, first thing with my own website for sure.
Okay.
I think we can continue if everybody is feeling the same.
Okay. Can I ask you? I need to go to the toilet. I'm sorry to do that. Is it okay if we do a 2 minute toilet break?
Of course.
All right. Well, sorry about that. I'll be back as fast as I can. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't find the mute. All right. Sorry about this, guys. Are we good to continue? All right. Perfect. I see some things going on in the chat. All right, let's continue and move to the last part. This one, if you like the previous one about the website analysis, I think you are going to enjoy this one very much. Okay, let me just do some little housekeeping here of this thing moving on my computer. Okay. Yeah, I think you're going to love this last part because it's the most impressive in terms of results. We are going to play around with product photography. The AI models have become scaringly good at creating real images. There is obviously all of the ethical considerations here, so I want to open with this. What I'm going to show you, I'm not saying that you should per se use that all of the time, but I believe it's useful. But it should be used ethically, meaning we can pretty much create images of whatever we want nowadays with the right prompt. And it's important that in the framework of being a producer organization producing products, that the photos that you will present to your buyers and your clients, they need to be faithful to the reality of the product. So it's tempting and easy to embellish the product with these technologies. But I encourage you to use the technology responsibly. So that being said, let's dive into it. Let's see how we can produce smarter visual production with AI. And we are going to focus on product photography. Okay. All right. So the next use case I'm going to use is KTS, Kumbeshwar Technical School, organization from Nepal, Kathmandu, which I had the pleasure of visiting and work with. So the specific pages I'm looking at, let me get to KTS's website here. So that's their website. And they have, under product, they have a bunch of different product categories. So I think the one I analyzed was the carpets. So this is what we see. They produce these beautiful carpets, hand woven, hand knitted. And yeah, so that's the product photography. Okay. So there's only one photo per product, and they're mostly all taken in the same room, same kind of angle. But I wouldn't say it's really presenting the product to its under its best light, because this is natural lighting. I mean, best light in the literal sense, and also in the metaphorical sense. Like, it's like product photography could be improved. Like this, let's say there's room for improvement here. The specific use case that I use for demonstrating this section is this particular carpet right here. So what I did here, I right-clicked, I saved the image as, and I just saved that image as a PNG. Okay, so I had the image of the carpet. Now let's come back to my presentation. Okay. Yes, so I moved here. Again, started from my favorite LLM, which is ChatGPT, to try to figure out the prompt. Okay, let's jump into that conversation. All right, so I said, with my microphone, again, no writing. I'm trying to help the fair trade organizations improve their product photography. I'm going to provide some screenshots of their website, the part of their website where they sell their products. They showcase their products, okay? I need you to give me a detailed analysis and feedback on how they present these products via photography. What can they improve? What kind of shots would better present these products? How many shots, how many photos per product would be a good average for presenting one specific product? What kind of product shots, angles would present these products under their best light? Give me some detailed suggestions on how to improve their product photography. So again, you see me a bit of ramble, like you hear me rambling a bit in this prompt. It's not a perfect prompt. It's just a description of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so chatty here, perfect. This is exactly the kind of things that can make or break a fair trade brand. I agree. When you send me the screenshots, I will I'll give you specific feedback based on what I actually see. But before that, here is a solid framework you can use to evaluate their product photography in a structured way. Okay, give me, and this is gold. It gave me a framework. So first question, does this look like a brand I would trust with a wholesale order? Remember your audience. Most of these fair trade producers are trying to attract distributors, convince international buyers, sometimes sell direct to consumers. That means the photos must communicate professionalism, consistency, quality, story, scale. If the photography looks homemade, inconsistent, or random, the brand looks risky, and distributors don't take risks. I think this is a very thorough analysis. Point number 2, how many photos per product? Minimum acceptable 4 photos per product. Ideal range 4 to 8. Less than 3 photos looks incomplete. A strong structure per product could be, like, it gave me 7 different shots. A clean hero shot, the main image, alternate angle, a close-up or detailed shot, lifestyle or in context, scale reference, optional but powerful, a packaging shot, or back or underside when relevant. Many fair trade sites only show 1 or 2 photos. That's not enough. Then it gave me some actual examples of these shots. So the 7 shot types they should be using. 1, the clean hero shot. And I didn't insert any URL or anything. This is just knowledge that ChatGPT gives me of, like, showing me actual product shots. I haven't put any fair trade URL yet. So this is the most important image. It's showing me the clean hero shot. And it's doing this for every single one of these 7 categories. So this one is the scale reference, so I can see how big or small the product is, etc., etc. So just that is already super good. Lighting, the hidden killer. Most fair trade producers shoot near a window, use mixed indoor lights, don't control white balance, etc. Background choices, okay. They have 3 good options: pure white, light beige, or textured but consistent artisan surface, like wood, linen, clay. Avoid patterned fabric, cluttered rooms, visible messy environments, mixed surfaces. Composition problems to look for, story integration, etc. The story, I like this point, like, unlike Zara or H&M, fair trade brands have artisans, communities, impact stories, handcraft process, but often that story is not visually connected to the product. So smart improvement would be to add 1 slide per product that shows the artisan making it, or the weaving process, the dyeing process, the workshop. Okay, so I have my 10, or actually 9 criteria for evaluating websites here. Okay, so what I did, let me come back on the next slide. Yes, the analysis. And I actually ran this analysis in a separate chat, but you could do it in the same chat. I think I wanted to keep it clean so I can share the first one with you guys. So if you use, let me come back to this slide. If you scan this QR code, and again, you don't need to do it now, you will have access to these slides. You will gain access immediately to this 9 point with the examples of the shots. So I wanted to keep this chat clean, just that, so you can use that and continue prompting from there if you want, but I wanted to give you a clean version of that. Now, let me, sorry, I need to access my window here. Yes, there. Okay, let me go to the actual conversation. I think it's this one. Yes. As you see, I spent quite a bit of time here, and yes, yes, here. So I uploaded 3 screenshots here from the Technical School website. So here are 3, you don't see them, but that's because it's a shared conversation. So here are 3 different pages directly taken from the products tab on Kumbeshwar. Okay, I think I had, yes, the product page for the scarves, the carpets, and the sweaters. So upload these visuals. These are the little PDF generated with the little apps I showed you earlier. And now please go ahead, diagnose specific issues, tell me what to keep, what to reshoot. So this is the end of the prompt that was given to me by ChatGPT before. That's just that. I copied that and I pasted it again in my prompt here. And it said, all right, I went through the 3 product pages. Okay, it lists them. I'm going to be direct. The craftsmanship looks real. The photography does not support it. Let's break this down properly. And let's have a look at what we are talking about. We're talking about this page right here. We're talking about the sweaters. So this page right here. Just keep this in mind, what we are talking about. Okay. So let's break it down. The hand-knitted sweaters, page 1. What's working? Clean white background, consistent mannequin style, grid layout feels organized, lighting versus relatively, the lighting is relatively even. That's already better than many small producers. But what's weak? Everything is front-facing. There's no close-up, there's no model shots, no texture storytelling. All images feel like catalog documentation, not brand presentation. Again, I'm going to play just show this for a couple of seconds so we can relate to what we just said. The sweaters have beautiful knitted patterns around the collars and chest area, but you can barely appreciate them at thumbnail size. So what I would reshoot, 100% of the hero shots, no, but I would add depth. So keep one clean front shot on the mannequin and add maybe a 45 degree angle, back view, detailed shots of color, patterns, close-up of knit texture, lifestyle image with a real person wearing it, etc., etc. So it's giving me this analysis, what we would keep, but what we should also add, right? And it will do this for all of the different pages, the 3 pages, the carpets, the sweaters, and the scarves. So, strong of all of that information, yes. So I just continued the conversation, but I want to show you, because we have little time, I want to show you what's next. Okay. And what's next was, I was here. Okay. So I started with this. This is the original image downloaded from the Kumbeshwar website. Okay. So with this, I went to an image generation tool. The one I used is this one. It's called Leonardo.ai. Okay, Leonardo.ai. This is part of the Canva family. Leonardo is an image generation tool and an AI aggregator. You can generate more than images here. You can work with videos. You can work with different things, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. But you can generate images, you can generate videos, you have different apps that you can use. I encourage you to explore it, leonardo.ai. And so I went to the image little button right here, and I started prompting. Okay, so the first thing I did was this one right here. Let me see if I can show you this thing here in a larger scale. But basically, yes, I needed prompts for each of these shots that my analysis told me I would need. Okay, so yes, here. Okay, I ask it, give me 6 precise nano banana prompts to help me generate the following product shots based on a single image reference. So the image I took from the KTS website, that one carpet shot. Okay, the required shots per products. Okay, so I need front view, centered, and so basically I pasted all of the information it gave me of what I need to reshoot. Okay, so clean product shot, the hero shot, the alternate angle, the back view, so the 6 or 7 shots it told me I should reshoot. And it gave them to me. So these are the prompts for the image generation because I ask it, give me some Nano Banana prompts. So that means it knows that Nano Banana is the image generation platform. So how can I generate these based on one reference image? You always need that reference image. Not always, but it's better if you want consistency. And you need the prompt. So here's the first prompt. Okay, the clean front product shot, the hero image. And here is the prompt. Use the uploaded reference image as the exact product. Generate a professional e-commerce hero shot, front view, perfectly centered, straight alignment, entire product fully visible, no cropping, neutral white background, soft diffuse studio light, no harsh shadows, no reflections, no props. High resolution, ultra sharp, true to original colors, maintain exact shape, proportion, and details from the reference image. Commercial catalog style, export ready. I didn't invent this prompt. The model did for me. Took this and I came back to Leonardo and I pasted this shot, this prompt right here. That's the exact prompt I pasted. And this is the first image that came back. So we can see the same carpet. Where is let's go find this carpet again. Carpets, this one. So you could like analyze them side by side. I did that yesterday. It's the same carpet. Okay, where was I? Here. So it gave me this shot, which is what I asked for, like the hero shot, the center, the one with the entire thing. And then you guessed it. So that's the first additional photo. Then I ask it for prompts for all of the other shots that I needed. Okay, the close-up, the back view, the 45-degree angle, and I'm going to show them to you. They are all right here, generated in this is the close-up shot. Okay, this is the placement. This one is, let me see. This one is the scale reference. I ask it to generate the shot with the carpet held by a Nepali lady artisan. And yeah, so let's get back to the presentation here. I have added all of the shots here for you to appreciate. That is the hero shot with the prompt. That is the 45-degree angle shot. This is the back shot. This one is the one that surprised me the most. So if you took a photo from the back of the carpet, I'm not sure it looks like this, but so this is where you need to be careful about realism and ethical consideration. If it doesn't look like that, then don't use that photo, obviously. The detailed close-up, the scale reference, and the lifestyle photo. So I don't know what you think about this, but this blew my mind because you don't need a photography studio. You don't need anything. You just really need one photo and to have strong enough ethical considerations to decide whether or not you are blurring the lines here, whether or not it's ethical to present such a photo to a buyer. Does it correspond to the reality or is it too far away from it? Okay, so this is why I want to finish with this. Like, you should, if it's not close enough, you can try to refine, okay, by adding this kind of lines to your prompt. Keep product identical to the reference image. Do not alter the design, pattern, shape, or color. Maintain full accuracy. Because the models are becoming so powerful nowadays that they are able to reproduce identical objects, even persons. So yeah, this is where we are. And yeah, I'm showing you this. If we have time, I think we are a little bit over time. I wanted to do the same thing and ask you, do you have a product photo and do the whole shebang with you? But I will let you do this at home. Isabella, yes, you raise your hand, but I will let you do this at home. I much prefer use what we have left of our time to take some questions because they might have some questions. But yeah, this is my last slide. 4 tips to make AI work for you. Let the AI create your prompt. Don't play the prompt engineer. This is not 2022 anymore. We have this now. So let it do the work. Give plenty of context with voice mode. Use your microphone. Just brain dump everything you need. It will structure it. Break complicated tasks into steps. Like make it easy for the model to just do one thing and then move on to the next thing. Like don't ask it for the final outcome immediately. And then save or organize your chats, your best prompts, what has been working for you. Save that into projects inside the LLMs. ChatGPT lets you organize by projects. The other platforms also have similar kinds of features, or simply copy and paste them into a slide deck. I don't know. And share them within your organizations so that everybody can use them. Yeah, I'm going to leave it here. Any questions about anything? I'm happy to stay longer until maybe 1 p.m. It's 20 to 1 right now. If that's good with you, I'm happy to stay with you. So yeah, tell me, any questions? Can use the chat or you
Yes.
can just pop with your microphone and camera, even better. Yes, Anneloos.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's really, really nice to learn all these new things. I also followed your workshop at the summit in South Africa, and it was more about Canva.
Yeah.
And then you said like it's best to get like the paying subscription, and that it is for WFTO members. I don't know, remember free or like reduced.
Yes.
Which I actually I tried to follow up and I sent them many times our membership certificate, but they don't take it and there's no contact or whatsoever that I can ask. So maybe I do something wrong, but it's really a tool I like to dive deeper into.
Okay. Okay, let me talk about Canva for nonprofits. That's the name of their program. So Canva is giving their pro tool, so it's called Canva Teams, or yeah, Canva Teams, I believe, for free to students and not-for-profit organizations. So there is a different process in every country. You need to, for example, I remember in Belgium, I needed to prove that I was a ASBL or a not-for-profit organization. So the criteria is slightly different, but if you are a not-for-profit organization, if you are a foundation, if you are something else than a commercial organization, it shouldn't be too complicated to apply to Canva. And if they are blocking, we could probably work at the WFTO level. I already talked to Michael about this, I believe. Uh, and so you could all like ask WFTO or notify WFTO that you want to try to get on this plan. And then through me, we could reach out to Canva and tell them like this is a list of emails and organizations that want to reach out. So let's work like this, maybe, Anlos. Go
Super.
through Michael, and then we can try to sort it out so you can benefit from this because I believe every WFTO member should be entitled to this.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions about the AI stuff, like what we've seen? Like what do you think? Like were you blown away like me about the photo generating thing? Or is this something you could see yourself using in your businesses?
Can I show off a little bit?
Yes, please.
So I raised my hand. I just wanted to show, if someone can allow me to share my screen, I wanted to show what I have done on my own website.
Yes.
Just
So I'll
to,
stop sharing mine so you can start sharing yours.
uh, so I have a website, which is an e-commerce website, selling toys. So I have pretty good product photography, but those studio photos, they cost extremely expensive. It takes a huge amount of time to create kids' rooms and beautifully made pictures. So I played a little bit with AI, and this is what it came up with. So I wanted to show off. So the products are exactly the same. I made sure that the products are really identical to the products we have, and it created a beautiful decor. So I think on the ethical side, as as long as we stay and we don't alter how the actual product looks like, it's totally fine. I use this on social media. I use this on different pages, but this was just to show up. I was blown away as well, how good and how beautiful the lightning, the style, the colors, and all of it came out. So, I faded only the product pictures. That's what I did. So those pictures you see like here, I faded those product pictures from multiple angles, and this is what it came up with in about like 2.5 minutes. So yeah, definitely blown away.
Yeah, this is a really good example, like this lifestyle shot. That's what we would call this. It's beautiful. Like you said, the lighting is perfect, the texture, it fits with the colors of your website. It's great. Yeah, and me yesterday when I was testing, or the day before yesterday, when I was testing with this product photography from the carpets, I was blown away by how like this carpet is the same carpet. And it was the first time I actually did this with all of these different angles. But yeah, so I encourage you to play with this. And again, you don't need to spend a fortune on this. My ChatGPT is 20 euros a month, and that's it. And then the Leonardo, it's also a paid tool, but it's also very cheap. Like it works with credits, and each photo was only a few hundred credits, so it's not very expensive. I think for less than 100 euros a month, you have a very powerful set of tools that will allow you to do your work, that will allow you to supercharge your work. So yeah, go ahead and try these. I'm still here for a few minutes. If you have more questions, I wanted to put this slide last on screen to let you know that if you are interested in working with me or with us, including Diana, on more workshops for your teams that could be maybe more targeted, like a one-on-one or even like working with the entire team at your company. We do offer services like this. We don't have packages per se, but we still would like to stay involved with the fair trade organizations. This is not our day-to-day thing, like we're still content creators and educators on stuff like that, but we love to a few times per year do things like this, like we've done with Isabella, that we are happy to do with WFTO as well. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach out, because yeah, we just love working with you guys. So yeah, let me know any last second questions, otherwise we can wrap it up.
I was looking through the chat, so I see a few questions. So do you advise organizations to buy an upgrade of AI tool like ChatGPT or Gemini? So having the paid version, I guess.
Yes, I do recommend you use at least the first tier, because the jump in quality from the free tier to the first tier is huge. So I would definitely recommend you use the first paid tier, which is the one I'm on ChatGPT, I think it's called ChatGPT Plus. Gemini has a bunch of different tiers, but the first one is around $20 a month, even for companies, $20 or $25 a month. I would, yes, because it unlocks a bunch of features and it unlocks the latest models. Now, if you're asking, should you go to the highest tiers, the tiers that cost $200 a month per seat? I would say it depends. Me personally, I've not done that jump yet, and I'm doing fine. But if I was a consultant, that was my full-time job, I would probably get on the $200 a month plan because the level of intelligence you get there is, again, next level. And the access, the priority. If I was an AI video creator doing AI ads and videos all the time, I would also upgrade to maybe Google's highest plan, so I have more bandwidth to work with. But for someone who's been using it every single day in most of my workflows, I have enough of intelligence and bandwidth access to the tool with my 20 or so euro per month plan. Okay, I'm looking at the chat. Luis, great learning experience. Appreciate these collaborations. Yes, same here. Thank you. Well, thank you also, Luis, for sticking around with us. Any more questions in this chat? I see a lot of thank yous. Well, thank you, guys. I'm glad this was useful. I think I don't see any more questions, so that's it for me. Wish you all the best of luck for anything. You can reach out. This is our website. You can find us via this or on LinkedIn, or I'm not hard to find. So yeah, don't hesitate to reach. Oh yeah, I have one more slide with the link to download. Yes. If you scan this code, this is the slide deck that I just used. So the one with the Canva logo, the other one is our YouTube channel. So you can scan that, take a picture and scan it tomorrow from a computer. It's up to you, but you'll also receive an email with the link. So that's it. Thank you guys for being here.
Well, thank you so much, Rondy. It was an amazing session. I think everybody agrees, and we can see it clearly in the comments and in a lot of reactions we had during the presentation. It was extremely valuable, and we hope we can do it again sometime soon. Zerine shared in the chat a link for the feedback. So all the attendees, please, it is very important for us. If you want more of those kind of sessions, leave your feedback so that we can know that you are interested by this kind of content. We can do more of it. I wanted to thank you as well, the WFTO team, Zerine, Robert, and all the other WFTO members who are here for their support and being a crucial point in organizing those sessions. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for participating. Ronny, it has been a pleasure, and we hope to see you very soon. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.